Hey guys, it's Mongolian Mindset, and today we finally got fucking Shelley back. You guys have been asking for Shelley to be back. We finally fucking have found her. We can't tell you where we found her, but just know she's back. Um, Heroin will do that to you. Uh,
Yeah, what? I don't think it was anything like that.
Yeah, he just fucking with you. But today we got one of our members who's got to level 25. So today we will have to find this personality type. And thank you for taking the time to come in because my computer was down for quite a bit, man. So sorry about canceling your typing session last week. Can you introduce yourself, man?
Yeah, my name's Chris. Also known as Professor on the server. Not actually a professor. Try to keep that, clear.
Okay, so how'd you get into type, man?
I was trying to figure out more about myself and understand how to communicate better and more clearly because I noticed people weren't understanding things that I would say a lot, and there'd be a lot of misunderstandings. So, um, yeah.
Okay, has it helped you?
I'm starting to understand a little bit better, and I have had a few moments where I've seen with my friends and kind of had a glimpse of what I think their type might be and how to communicate with them a little bit better.
Hmm.
So I think it is starting to help.
Okay. What do you think about the are the worst parts about typology?
There is this kind of pull I've seen where people try to become the type they think they are, and it can interfere with actual self development. So I want to try and be as transparent while doing this as possible.
Yeah, yeah. We talk about that because it doesn't really help you because your tools are your tools, right?
Mm,
So like if you're just say whatever, you can get a type, but it won't help you in the game of life, and that's ultimately like what that's what you're ultimately doing this for,
mm,
to figure out what are your best tools and how can you become the best version of yourself because that's the most important thing. Understanding your type is just one step um, into working on that path. So what's the best work environment for you? What was this? I
uh,
got new questions. Yeah.
that's I the more and more I think about it, like I know the types of things that I'm good at, and from my experience in the corporate world, it's been very uncomfortable. Um, I'm not even sure if there's like a perfect job or something for me.
Why you say that?
Because like when I think about it, um, I'm good at kind of like seeing paths of like technology and like where I think things are going. And a lot of companies already have their own ways. Like I think I would have to make my own business essentially or be part of somebody else's. And I don't want to actually make my own business. So it's kind of it's weird. Yeah. Maybe being on a small team, um, collaborating and sharing ideas, working together to create something.
Okay. Okay. What do you think are your best talents? If you had to outline two things that you were like, okay, this is what I'm good at, what would that be?
humans kind of have a natural disposition to negativity, just kind of a negative bias. And I'm able to kind of utilize that in a way to see negative potential paths and I can kind of weed out what's not a good idea and point towards what is something I think worth going towards, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
I'm not really good with the fine details, but like the overall picture is something I think I'm better at.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you this question. If you were able to have a superpower, what would you choose and why?
Oh, all right. This one could be really bad and really good at the same time. Um, the ability to know any experience. Um, so like if somebody has learned something, you would be able to pull from that experience and know it yourself. And that also means past and like present. So like you could know things from the past that have long like gone. So you could know the truth of things from the past as well. That way,
Mhm.
what's the real history of the world? Oh, well, I know that now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're awesome. Um, can you give us 3 words to describe yourself? Hmm.
Careful, wise, thoughtful.
Careful, wise, and thoughtful. Okay. Can you break down why you put careful?
Um, I always try to make sure that when I take an action, it's one that's going to lead to the desired result. Um, I guess even with my words sometimes, although lately hasn't been so great on the server. um, yeah,
Okay. What about wise? Why wise?
I I've often had a lot of people come to me for help with things, in real life. And I've always tried to put myself out of my own like bias into their perspective and come up with the best path for them, like the best thing for them to do when considering their situation, whatever it is that they've come to me with. And I think that requires a level of wisdom that's not always present in others.
Okay. Okay. What do you think you struggle with the most?
Uh, my memory, unfortunately. There are times when it clicks and I will remember things, and then there's a lot of times where I really wish it was better. It's pretty bad. Um, yeah,
Okay. How do you go about learning something new?
there are a couple different ways. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll seek out like an example, depending on what it is. So let's say if I'm learning a new programming language or something, then since I have kind of a basic understanding for programming language, I will, well, first, if I don't know something, I'll seek out the basics, the core of what that thing is. And then once I get a grasp of that, I can usually um, figure out a lot more. Um, if not, then I'll start reaching out for sources and stuff like that. I'll look for other people that are good at this thing and see an example, see if I can replicate it. Um, but yeah, like when I learned how to play guitar, for example, um, I remember getting the guitar. It came with a little book, and it took me a while to like. I opened it up and I learned like the basics, which was really just conditioning your hands, um, conditioning your hands to move correctly in the right places.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, um, there was some notes on like how to read sheet music. And as soon as I learned how to read tabs, I threw the book away. And then I was able to go and look up songs and figure out, you know, how to do it from there. So uh,
Mm-hmm.
then a lot of it was learning from ear because after that, I knew how to kind of put two and two together.
Okay. What do you want to be remembered for?
Um,
Let's just picture dead, gone, 300 years in the future. What do you want them to remember Professor for?
that's one that I've always thought about is kind of weird because I don't really care about being remembered. Um, like I've talked to people and I've given them ideas that could make them millions of dollars, and I don't want like a footnote or anything like that. I just want to see that idea turn into something. It'd be cool if I was part of the project because then I would actually be able to create the thing. But sometimes I know that I'm not capable in the moment of achieving that thing, so I just give it to somebody else and want to see it kind of be brought to life.
Shelley, anything? Be muted, Shelley.
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Um, what makes you feel embarrassed?
Hmm. Well, okay. I'm not comfortable around a lot of people. So if you were to try to put me on stage, I would not be I would not be comfortable with that at all. Um, so I think that would be embarrassing for me. Um, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of behaviors do other people do that make you feel upset?
Um, Probably it would be gaslighting, um, and like manipulation. Typically not so much towards me, but when I see it towards others is when I start to get upset. Especially if I know that person's not aware it's happening to them. Yeah, it's manipulation in social groups bothers me because
How
it's
do
just
sorry.
it's not needed. That's all.
How, how do you feel about being told what to do?
Ooh, if it makes sense, I'm okay with it. If it doesn't make sense, then I'll question it until it makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense and I have to do it, I will grumble while doing the thing. um, or I'll take myself out of the situation if I have the ability to do that.
Back to you, Mercer.
Oh, damn, back to me, huh? Um, what's something that motivates you? Like, what's your driving force? What would you say is your driving force?
Hmm. I I was going to say that I didn't have anything at first, but I think it's really when I see him on the cusp of something. Like it could be like a new understanding, it could be a new discovery, or creating something. I think it's that part that kind of motivates me. But until I'm in that, I'm kind of not really that motivated. Um, and it's kind of weird. I've been trying to think about this lately when I talk to people on the server, figure out like what it is that drives me, um, and kind of see the differences between me and others and how they go about life and try to figure out why I think that doesn't work for me or does work.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Shelley, we done. What are you thinking?
Yeah, we're done.
All
Whoa.
Well,
right. All right, man. Get ready for this. Brace yourself.
Oh, here it goes.
Okay. So, you see that? So, oh shit. You see that? So this is the chart here. So what I'm gonna go through like what we ended up getting. I ended up
Okay.
getting strong responding, right? There's times where you just took like maybe like fucking maybe more than 30 seconds to respond to a question. So I hit that for strong, right? And then outcome, it seems like you got pretty strong on the outcome. I'll go through my notes to say that. Definitely a lot of SINE talking about other people's past a lot. Definitely a lot of that that's strong there as well. And you got the TIFE as well. But I'm gonna go over my notes here. So when you talked about why you got in typology, there was an outcome in mind, to be better with communication. So that was your outcome. From my experience in the corporate world, it was very, and then you talked about being uncomfortable. So I hit that for SINE, double up on SINE from my experience to being uncomfortable, right? SISI. I'm good at seeing the paths of technology, right? I hit that for NE.
Mm,
A lot of the companies have their own paths already. So I said there was NE as well, right? Negative potential paths, right? NE as well. The three things you said was careful, wise, and thoughtful. Um, you said you make sure when I take an action, it leads to a desired result, right? That's
mm,
outcome, right? Best paths for them when considering uh like when you're talking to somebody, you give advice, you're looking at the best path for them, right? That's any as well. You don't know something So you seek out the core of it, right? Because you're trying to build up your understanding.
Hmm.
And then once you build up your understanding, you're okay with just tossing it away. So I hit that for TIFE. I have talked to people, gave them ideas that could make them $1 million. I said that was any parent, right? Any parent wants to give other people ideas.
Hmm.
It's really big on that, and it's really big on staying open-minded to a lot of things. And INTPs can be very annoyed by people who have a lot of NI because they're cutting off choices.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then any parent always like wants to look at this and that and this and that, and it can make them have trouble making decisions because they want to be look at this choice, that choice, this choice, that choice to make sure they get the desired result that they want. Um, Manipulation towards others upsets me. So it wasn't more about you, it was towards others.
Hmm.
So I hit that for FE. And then you talked about like you're okay with listening to others as long as it makes sense.
Hmm.
So I hit that for TI. So with all of that, man, we have you as an INTP. Uh, yeah, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous about this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
What do you
mean,
think you were?
I had a feeling it was an INTP, but I wanted to stay open to the process. So,
yeah, yeah. You got any questions for us, man?
uh, man, damn, I should have wrote some down or something.
It's all good, man.
uh, it is funny though that you pointed out the indecisiveness thing. It's something that I do struggle with. I
Mhm.
guess it like what do you think I should do to combat that?
Well, I would say just a lot of times just take a choice and understand that you can bet on your TI to figure things out, right? It doesn't have to be the best possible case. Like kind of take a page from the ISTP, right?
Hmm.
They'll just take a choice and feel okay with adapting and overcoming and whatever with TI and SE. And a lot of times Christian, when he talks about it, he's more so relying on his TI to figure things out, right? Because it is an engine, and the more you put stress on, a lot of times with a lot of these functions, the more you put stress on them, um, the more you'll see it. Like you will actually take it to the next level.
Oh,
But if everything is slow and calm and there's no stress, then you're not gonna really be pushing it to the test or anything. So I would just say just be okay with just with any result and
mhm.
just figuring it out and understanding. It's gonna work out, man. It's gonna work out. Um,
All right. I Yeah, I guess I'll start trying to do that and thought about it that way. Because my thoughts are always like, if I take this step and it's the wrong one, then I'm in trouble.
yeah,
But if
that's
I
the inner
can,
critic.
yeah.
So it's always like I got to look at all these options.
Mm,
Inner critic forces you to be open minded. Forces you.
okay, awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you for your time. This is
Uh,
great.
Shelley, anything you want to say, Shelley?
No,
Uh,
no, I'm good.
oh, guys, we finally got Shelley back. We rounded her up from her heroin addiction. I'm
Dude, I've
kidding.
never touched heroin in my life. Shut up.
I just fucking with you. I just fucking with you. Jesus Christ. All right, man. All right, Professor, man. Take it easy, man. All
Yeah,
right,
you
Alrighty.
Shelley.
too.
All
Bye.
right. See ya.